So let's continue with the continuation of our discussion. A while ago, we just had our arithmetic sequence. Now we will have our arithmetic mean. What do we mean by arithmetic mean? From the word itself, mean is the average. Arithmetic mean. And when we say mean, we simply mean the average. This is what we mean when we say arithmetic mean. For example, in our terms, we have 6, 10, and 14. Ayan. So this term in the middle is what we call the arithmetic mean. And if you can remember, if you can recall our discussion a while ago, we have our means and extremes, right? The means are those inside the sequence that are between the extremes. And the extremes are our first and last terms. These are our extremes, right? Okay, just for you to remember, this is part of our first discussion a while ago. These are extremes. So in our topic now, we are talking about the arithmetic mean, the term in between the extremes. Okay, so what do we do for us to get the arithmetic mean? Because the given here will usually be like this. We have 6 blank 14. Though you know that it's already 10, the fastest way to do this is to simply, of course, it's an average. We have to add and divide it by 2. So 6 plus 14, add 6 plus 14, that's 20. And then since there are two terms that are added, we need to divide it by 2. Divided by 2, that becomes 10. So 10 becomes your arithmetic mean. As simple as that. Okay? Try it for yourself. If we have 125, what is our arithmetic mean? Type it in the chat box. What's our arithmetic mean? Type it in the chat box. What is our arithmetic mean? Are you sure? Okay. Yeah, keep your answers coming. Okay, only 3 sent their answers. So far, there are 2. Okay, dumarami na. There are only 2 answers that are common answers that are shown. We have 50 and 62.5. Which of this do you think is the arithmetic mean? Okay. Okay. So, just like what I told you, we just have to add the 2 terms and then divide it by 2. So 100 plus 25, the answer is 125. Divided by 2, that becomes 62.5. So therefore, our middle term here, or the arithmetic mean, is 62.5. Okay? Remember that. Remember, arithmetic po tayo. We are not doing anything else but a common difference. So what's the common difference of these terms? Sige nga, what's the common difference? What's the common difference? Type it in the chat box, please. The common difference is 37.5. Okay, correct. 37.5. 37.5. Very good. So, just for you to know, what do you call this? Common difference is not always a whole number. Sometimes it can also be a decimal. Okay? Please take note of that. No, just to double check, calculator. Here, 100 minus 62.5. There, 37.5. So a common difference is 37.5. Let's also try it. 62.5 minus 25. There, it's still 37.5. So that's arithmetic mean. Okay? That's what we do when there is only one arithmetic mean. Okay? For example, another example, please. This time I want you to answer it. Ready? Find the arithmetic mean between 12 and 86. Go. What is the arithmetic mean between 12 and 86? Type the answer in the chat box. Okay, keep your answers coming. Good. I can see a common answer now. Very good. Okay, that's it. So the answer is 12 plus 86 divided by 2. The answer is 49. Very good. Show a reaction, please. Explore the reactions. Based on how you understood this process. Go. Show me a reaction, please. Thank you. Keep them coming. Very good. Okay, that's nice. Thank you. That is if there's only one arithmetic mean being identified. What if there are already more than one arithmetic mean? So this time we'll be talking about arithmetic means. So therefore, there's not only one, but two or more arithmetic means in between the two extremes, the first and last terms. For example, let's have here, this is very basic, 2 and 10. Although it's very basic, can you identify the arithmetic means, 3 arithmetic means between 2 and 10? Identify 3 arithmetic means between 2 and 10. Go. Type into the chat box. Okay, 4, 6, and 8, of course, because these are just very simple and very basic given. And from this basic given, I want you to derive the concept. Okay, let's have this. Of course, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So we have 4, 6, and 8 as the arithmetic means of this given. Okay, now, how do you think, if you will be the mathematician, what formula, a simpler formula, can you make for you to be able to get these values? Sige nga, try to identify it by playing your or using your first two terms. So usually we add them. 2 plus 10, that's 12. 12. Okay. And then what else do you think should we do? Anyone? And if you will look at it, I want you to think with me, huh? If you will look at it, sabi, insert 3 arithmetic means between 2 and 10. So when you look at it, we have 2 and 10 as the extremes, and then there are 3 blank spaces in between. So therefore, this is A sub 1, A sub 2, A sub 3, A sub 4, and A sub 5. There are 5 terms. So N is equal to 5. Okay? I'm giving you some ideas. What do you think should we do here? Okay. Any idea? Now, I will teach you one thing that might be very useful for you to use. Ready na? Show a reaction, please. And then, of course, later, I will be providing to you or explaining to you the formula or the process we show in our module. Pero sabi ko nga sa inyo, sabi nung isa niyong classmate kanina, matamad po kasi ako, kaya gusto ko yung mental math, sabi niya. Ganon din kasi ako. Matamad ko kasi. So I find ways on how to make my life simpler. Parang ganon. Okay? Ready? If there are only two, if there's only one arithmetic mean that we need to find, that's the simpler process. Add divided by 2, because that's the average. That's mean. But if we are not anymore just looking for one mean or arithmetic means, but 2 or more, then there is something that we can do. And what is that? Look at this. I want you to, the reason why I want you to draw the process or to draw the illustration. When I say illustration, this is the illustration. We have 2, blank, 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 10, because this is the given. Okay. I want you now to observe how many movements do we have. So we have here from 2 to 4, 1, 4 to 6, 2, 6 to 8, 3, 8 to 10, 4. So there are 4 movements in the process. So what else will we do? We also have here 10 and 2. This time, let's subtract 10 and 2. 10 minus 2, what's the answer? Type the answer in the chat box, please. 10 minus 2, what's the answer? 8. 8. Next, how many movements did we make from the illustration? How many movements did we make from our illustration? There are 4. So 8 divided by 4, what's the answer? Type in the chat box. 2. Then let this 2 be your common difference. And then you just have to add 2 here. Plus 2, it becomes 4. Plus 2, it becomes 6. Plus 2, it becomes 8. Plus 2, it becomes 10. And you're done. We were able to identify your arithmetic means. Show a reaction about that process. Good. Let's try another using that process. Ready? Sabi ko nga sa inyo at sabi ng mga classmates niyo last week na nagtanong sa mga kakilala nila na naging estudyante ko, yeah, I like giving shortcuts, especially if there are things that it will be a lot better if we will do the shortcuts. Let's try this. This next one, of course, is very easy, and surely you can identify it even without doing the process. But for us to practice the process, we will do it. Okay, let's try this. Insert or identify 2 arithmetic means between 5 and 20. Sige nga. Try it. Try it. Try it. Try it by following the process that we just did. Oh. Okay. Game. So show a thumbs up, a reaction if you have tried it already and you got the expected answers. There's one who already 2. Okay, showing thumbs up. Very good. Try it. 4, again, getting bigger. Okay. So the thumbs up means it's correct and they were able to identify the correct answer as well. Okay, so yeah, for everybody's practice, ready? Let's have this. So let's draw. Again, just like what I tell you, let's illustrate it first. We have 5. There are 2 arithmetic means between 1, 2, and then 20. Okay, and then count the number of movements from 5, 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 movements. So let's now subtract. 20 minus 5, what's the answer? Type the answer in the chat box, please. 15. Very good. So 20 minus 5, that's 15. Divided by how many movements? 3, correct. What's the answer? Type it in the chat box, please. 5. And let 5 be your common difference. And that's what you will add in each movement. Just like what I tell you, we are learning patterns, we are learning sequence. So I'm teaching you how to identify patterns. Remember that, okay? So through this process, we are parang predicting eh. It's already a prediction. What we are doing now are predictions, and if we follow the correct process in doing the predictions, we will be able to make the correct judgments. Remember that. Okay? So we should always be accountable with the predictions that we do. Hindi pwedeng, it can't be just simply saying or doing your predictions without basis. Your predictions should always have basis. And that's what we should always be accountable for. Okay? So going back, we have here 5 plus 5, that's 10. 10 plus 5, that's 15. 15 plus 5, that's 20. And that's it. We were able to find arithmetic means by using that process. Show a reaction, please. Explore the reactions. Okay, very good. Correct. Nice. Did you like it? Now, if you want to also try doing this process in our module, you may, kaya lang sobrang haba kasi ng process dito. Loko, 1, 2, 3, tapos meron ka pang solution to solve your D, tapos may step 4 ka pa. Ay, ang tagal. Yun. But of course, this is the mathematical way. This is a by following the correct procedures or the expected procedures in math in our in the context of math. But just like what I tell you, we are learning patterns, we are learning series, I know the sequence. There are other ways to do it. And that's what I taught you just now. So you are not refrained from learning this process. If you still want to follow this, it's okay. But if you find this one a lot better, it's also not a problem. Or if I will give you the chance to decide, because for sure, many of you already have learned the process in your SLM. Which do you prefer? The process in the SLM or the process in our lesson now? A or B? A is the process in the SLM for the arithmetic means. B is the process that I just presented to you. Sige nga, let me see. Which do you prefer? Okay. Thank you. So, again, I'm not refraining you from using the pattern in our the mental way. I'm not refraining you from using our pattern in the SLM. This is also correct. Pero I just taught you a much easier way. Okay. That's it. Thank you. Let's now move on finally with the very last part. And this is also easy as well. We're done with the arithmetic sequence, arithmetic means. Now we are down to the arithmetic series. Sige nga, based on our discussion a while ago, when we say series, what do we mean? Type the answer in the chat box. When we say series, what do we mean? Because we are now moving to arithmetic series. When we say series, what do we mean? Please type it in the chat box. Arithmetic series. Very good. The sum of all the terms, sum of all the given terms. Perfect. So we are now down to our arithmetic series. And this is just very simple, just how simple the other examples or other topics were. Okay, we have the formula that we need to take in our arithmetic series. And this is it. This is the one and only formula for arithmetic series. So you have to take note of this. Oh, what happened to my there? Okay. So this is the formula for the arithmetic series. All we have to do is to follow this process. S sub n is equal to n over 2 times a sub 1 plus a sub n. Where did this formula come from? I'll tell a story. I'll stop sharing muna so that you will focus on me. Ayan. You open your cameras muna. So, there is a story. Buklat yung camera so that we can see each other. Yan. Very good. This is a real story. True to life po ito. Ayan. There's a story behind the arithmetic series formula. Long time ago, there was this lazy math teacher who does not feel like teaching the learners. Teacher siya ng mga bata pa, mga primary learners, ayan. And then, itong teacher medyo tinatamad. So what the teacher did was, tinatamad ako ngayon. Kailangan, math, the topic was math. Kailangan kong bigyan ng activity yung mga estudyante ko para the whole time, the whole hour, they will just be spending the time solving. Ayun. Tapos, ting! Said the teacher, since mga bata pa to, mahina pa to sa math. So what the teacher did, okay children, we have an activity to do in our math and you will love it. Sabi ni teacher. So the teacher said, okay, all you have to do for this entire period is to add the numbers from 1 to 100. Did you get the process, children? Did you get the instruction? All you have to do is to add the numbers from 1 to 100. And you have the whole hour to do that activity. Use your papers, show your solution in your paper, ha? Sabi ni teacher. Ha? Yes, teacher, sabi naman ng mga bata. So the teacher was so confident. Okay, I have 1 hour to rest. The learners will just do the activity. The teacher said. Okay, start now, said. And then, even before pa makalabas si teacher ng classroom, one student already raised his hand. Teacher, I'm finished na po. To the surprise of the teacher, are you sure? Yes po. What's the answer? 5,050 po. Are you sure? Said the teacher. Yes po. And then, let me check. So the teacher started adding the numbers from 1 to 100. 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 6, 17. Hanggang sa nag-spend ng longer time yung teacher, hindi pa umaabot ng 100. May lito-lito na yung teacher. And then, the teacher asked the student, how did you get that answer? And then, the student showed his solution, a very simple solution. And this is what the student did. Ayan. Dito tayo kasi, syempre, storytelling tayo. Here, this is what the student illustrated to the teacher. Simple lang po, teacher. Sabi niya, ang yabang-yabang. So we have 1 to 100, sabi po. You ask us to add the numbers from 1 to 100, sabi po. And then I arranged my numbers po. I divided the numbers from 1 to 100. There are 50 if I divide it by 2, said the child. So that's 1, 2, 3, hanggang 49, 50 po. And then, the continuation po, I put it below. 51, 52, and then down to 100, 99, 98, etc. So dito po, teacher, there are 50 numbers po. Similarly, there are 50 numbers din po dito, sabi ng bata. And then, napansin ko po, there's a pattern, teacher. There is a pattern. Look at the pattern po, teacher. 100 plus 1, that's 101. 99 plus 2, that's 101. 98 plus 3, that's also 101. 49 plus 52, that's also 101. And 50 plus 51, that's also 101 po, teacher. When I know po that there are 50 numbers here. So 101, there are 50, 101 po in this solution. So therefore minultiply ko po 101 times 50. Nung minultiply ko po, that's 0, that's 5, 0, and 5. So the total po is 5,050, said the child. Wow! Sabi nung teacher, who would have thought na isang primary learner may identify yon? And that's what I've been showing to you ever since we started a while ago. Just continue finding patterns. And do you know who that child is? He is none other than Carl Goss. He is a mathematician na nagsimula yung pagiging mathematician niya as early as childhood. Search that story in the internet, story of Carl Goss, and you will find that story. True to life story yon, mathematician yan. And that's where arithmetic series started. Okay? So, going back to the discussion of our arithmetic series, going back, here, this is now the formula. So after learning the story, you will now understand where this formula came from. Okay? So it's n over 2 kasi just like what Carl Goss did here, he divided the total number by 2. Tama? So that's where n over 2 came from. Okay? And then the first term and the last term, when added, was inspired by this. The first term and the last term. This is where it's inspired. So when you add this last term and the first term, definitely you will have the same number of sum from start till the end when you divide your n by 2. So a sub 1 plus a sub n, multiply it by the n over 2, then you will have the s sub n already, or the arithmetic series. Let's try this. S sub 100, find S sub 100 if a sub 1 is equal to 1 and a sub 100 is 100. The first term is 1, the last term is 100, and there are 100 terms. So the process, just like what Carl Goss did, but now we will not be using the illustration of Carl Goss, but this time we will be using our formula, just for us to apply the formula that we will be using for arithmetic series. So we have here S sub n is equal to n over 2. That's 100. Let me change S sub n to 100 na. S sub 100 is equal to 100 over 2 times the first term is 1 plus the last term is 100. There. So we will have here 100 times divided by 2 is 50 times 1 plus 100, that's 101. There. This looks familiar as to the computation of Carl Goss a while ago. There. So when you multiply this 50 times 101, your 100, the sum of the first 100 terms is 5,050. That's it. So that's how we find the arithmetic series. Very good, Chester. That's correct. 5,050. Okay? Show a reaction about this process. Show a reaction, please. Let me see your reaction. Very good. Ayan. Madali lang. Sige nga, it's your turn to shine. Ready? It's your turn to shine. Try this. Find. Let me erase this now. You already know the process. Game. It's your turn to shine. Kindly find S sub 76 in the arithmetic series. Ay, wait. Bago pala to. Wait. Let me erase this. Siyempre yung basic muna. Find S sub 76 if A sub 1 is 5 and masyado marka yung 76. Let me change this to S sub 10 na lang. S sub 10, if A sub 1 is a 5 and A sub 10 is 50. Go. Type your answer in the chat box when you're done. Okay, answers are now coming in. So far, we just have one common answer from our classmates who already have sent. Oy, there are already three different answers. 275, 550, 375, and there's one more, 50. S sub 10, ha? Hindi A sub 10. Ibig sabihin, when we say S sub 10, we need to get the sum. The sum of all the terms from the first term to the 10th term. Ay, kulang, sir. O nga, kulang nga. O, game. Go. It's okay. Ayan. So far, nagiging prominent na the one common answer. And that is, let's see if that common answer is correct. So, let's now listen to the process. S sub 10 is equal to n over 2. That's 10 over 2 times the first term is 5 and the last term is 50 plus 50. Okay, so this becomes 5 times 50 plus 5. That's 55. 55 times 5, what's the answer? 55 times 5 is 55 times 5, 275. And that's the common answer of our classmates. That's 275. Your S sub 10. That's it. Show a reaction if that's clear to you. Let me see. Show a reaction if that's clear to you. Very good. Very good. Now, let's have another example. Find S sub 20 if in the arithmetic sequence or arithmetics in the sequence in the arithmetics, hindi na ako marunong mag-spell, in the arithmetic series 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12 plus ... Okay, go. Start. Uy, mayroon ng sagot. 150 daw, said one of your classmates. What about the rest? Let's wait for the rest. Isa pa lang ang malakas ang loob na nakatapos. Show a reaction if you are lost in doing or in finding S sub 20 in this example. Show a reaction, please. Any reaction if you are lost in doing the process for this one. Let me see. Okay, there are classmates who are sending their answers and they are different. Okay, 150, 150, 300, 275. Uy, tapos yung 275, kanina pa yung 275. 230. Okay. Let's see. Uy, 630, 150, 150, 230, 230, 630. Wow, there are different answers coming in. Okay, 630. Now, sige. Okay, let's now go back. Diba? All we need to do is to find n. N is not a problem. There's this n. N is 20, no problem. A sub 1 is also not a problem because it's already there. That's 3. But A sub 20 is what's not around. A sub 20. Oh, wala ang last term. So, you have two options to do in solving this problem. Okay, two options. Take note of this. Makinig, makinig. Two options. The first one is to find A sub 20 by using A sub 20 is equal to A sub 1 plus N minus 1 times D. You remember this? Finding the 20th term in the arithmetic sequence. So if you do this, this will become A sub 1 is 3 plus 20 minus 1 times D. The D is 3 to 6 to 9, no, plus 3. That's 3. So this becomes 3 plus 19 times 3. And 19 times 3 is, what's the answer? 19 times 3. Wait lang. There. 19 times 3. What's the answer? Okay. Okay. 57. 9, 18, 27. Oh, yeah, 57. Correct. 57 plus 3. The answer is 60. So that's one way you have to find the 20th term. So the 20th term of your sequence is 60. So you just have to identify the 20th term, that's 60. And then we can already use the formula. S sub 20 is equal to N over 2. Sorry, that's 20. 20 over 2 times the first term is 20 plus the last term is 60. This becomes 10 times 20 plus 60. The answer is, sorry. The first term pala is 3.